Well, welcome to this showcase sports event on Harford TV. I'm Don Morrison. A chilly and windy day at Milton Wright High School with the Mustangs from the Upback Hayden Division set to host the Fallston Cougars of the Tidings Division. Bob Solberg, our first game of the year. The first game of the year for these two teams. It's windy, it's cold, not too bad. We're used to this for March, right?
Yeah, it's second day of spring. It's kind of to be expected.
It is, yeah. And this is an interesting game. It is division opponents, no. These people in two different divisions, and the new setup they have in the Upback, where there's a Tidings division, a Hayden division, and then also a Susquehanna division. 5 teams in each division. So they're not division opponents, but they might meet later in the year if they win their division.
Yeah, so it's important for both teams to get off to a good start. I mean, first game of the season. It's exciting.
Yep, we're coming in Fallston last year with a 13-6 record. They defeated Milton Wright 9-1 in the game they played last year. Milton Wright is coming in at 10-9, and a big disappointment for the Mustangs. Their star player, their third baseman, Izzy Youngworth, not going to be here today. She's ill, and so she won't be here as their cleanup hitter. That's certainly going to be tough for them.
Yeah, you're going to have to, other players are going to have to step up and make up. That's a big difference to make up for, but that's the other players are going to have to step up.
Well, we're all set to go now. Leadoff hitter stepping in for Fallston is Sarah Frist. Sarah is a junior. Don't let that fool you. She's got 3 years as a starter, one of the captains of the team, a returning third-year player. And here's the first pitch inside, ball 1. Pitching for Milton Wright is Maddie Hoskins. Hoskins, a sophomore, 0-3 last year. Wasn't the main starter for the Mustangs, but she's the person they're going to go to this year. Ball 1. We're just underway here in the 2025 season. Inside corner, strike 1. We're 1-1. Umpires on the day, Rick Morris at the plate and Ed Clay on the bases. We'll give you that starting defensive lineup for the Mustangs here as we have a moment. Swung on a missed. Bob, that looked like a little bit of a drop pitch.
A little bit of a drop on the outside corner, yeah.
You could see Sarah Frist was fooled by that. Frist, a .475 hitter last year, 29 hits, 11 RBIs. She's down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Line shot foul down that third base line.
Yeah, that one didn't fool her.
Yep.
Not at all. We're without a scoreboard today, Don, too. I don't know.
We'll keep the folks,
challenging us today.
They'll do it in the booth, so we'll keep you abreast. 1 ball, 2 strikes, just underway here, top of the first inning. Fallston versus Milton Wright. Pop up, shortstop, moving on it. That wind is blowing it out to the left fielder. Who makes the catch? That's Alicia Jones. Gives us a chance to talk about that wind. That looked like a pop-up to the shortstop.
It did, and yeah.
Wind blowing from sort of the first base to third base, so anything hit the left field, it's going to go a long ways.
Yeah, I thought for sure the shortstop would catch that, but it just kept going.
1 out now. That'll bring up Mary Path. Mary is the center fielder, junior, also a returning starter. Volleyball player, 4.3 GPA student, 271 hitter last year. 1 out, nobody on. Line shot foul by third base. That went by Gianna Iorani. I'll try that again. Iorio, excuse me, Gianna. She's moved over from second base, replacing Izzy Youngworth. Kendall Miller at short, and Gracie Conway. Gracie is in there replacing. Down low.
Yeah, and the third baseman's really hugging that line now with those first 2 batters, pulling them line drives down the line.
And Gracie, excuse me, this Gracie Newby, the new second baseman for Milton Wright. Brooke Lusby is the first baseman. Down low and inside. It's at 3-1, I believe.
No, yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe Rick Morris will give us a count here. Nah, not this time. Rick says keep track of it. Look at it, sub for you guys. The outfield is Jones, McJury, and Kim Alford at right field. Pop up, left field, moving. Over her head, that wind takes it. It's fair in fair territory. Turning second base, it's going to stay on right there. Boy, Barb, we've had 2 hits, and both times the wind has affected both of them.
Yeah, and that one was more of a line drive, and the line drives are tough, and she thought she had it handled, but again, it just went right over her head.
Runner on at second base now, 1 out. Bringing up the third hitter, Allie Underwood. Allie, the pitcher today, a junior, another returning starter, third-year player. Again, just a junior. 357 with 16 RBIs last year for Underwood. Umpires are having a discussion. I'm not sure. And now we're underway. 1 out, 1 on. Barb, despite the chilly and the wind, the sun is out bright, and that could be a problem for the third baseman. It looks like right in her eyes. Down low, off the catcher, down to third base safely on that wild pitch.
Yeah, most of the defense has the sun to their backs, but the catcher and, yeah, perhaps the third baseman could be an issue.
By the way, that catcher, Noelle Beavers, the catcher for C. Milton Wright, young lady, we're proud to see her back catching. Had a major hip injury as a sophomore. Back now catching. Barb, that's a tough position with a hip injury.
It sure is. It's tough when you're healthy, when you have to nurse an injury.
2-0 the count, inside. Cougars, as we said, coming in 13-6 last year. Little pop-up, second baseman moving, first baseman has it. Coming over and making that catch was Brooke Lusby. Again, that wind seemed to do something with the ball. 2 out now. It's a pop-up to first base. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter. That's Abby Marmon. Abby, a .475 hitter last year. We thought this would be a big jam to get out of.
Yes, it would be. Get the momentum started immediately.
Fouled off the right side. There you hear the wind through our field mic. The wind, which it kind of gusts. Sometimes the wind is almost dead, and then like right now, it's blowing maybe 20, 30 miles an hour. 1 ball, I should say 1 strike, no balls. Pop up, center field moving. And McJilton has it, and they do get out of that jam. Juliana McJilton making the catch. So there's 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. We're no score entering the bottom of the first inning.
And all 3 of those outs were fly balls that were a little dicey.
So no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We've played 1/2 of an inning. Nothing as the C. Milton Wright Mustangs, the host team, comes to bat. C. Milton Wright, coached by Jeff Dwyer. Jeff in his 4th year. Jeff's a CPA. His daughter, Jenny, I should say, played under Jim French, who's the assistant coach. Barb, we have institutions in this county as coaches, people that have been around forever. Jim French has been in this program at C. Milton Wright for 27 years. He's coached football, he's coached basketball, he's coached softball, he's now an assistant coach here. He is the kind of guy that I think every program wants to have around because he just cares about the kids. 33 years he was a drug counselor at Ashley's in Aberdeen, and has done so many wonderful things for the county. Just the kind of guy that I'm privileged to know as a friend.
Oh, that's nice. And that many years in a program, you get to really know the players throughout the years. You know who's coming up and who's leaving, and you really get to know them.
His daughter Jenny French is Jenny Lynch. I'm sorry, Jenny Lynch is one of the coaches. First team All-County back at Morgan State. So this is a program, C. Milton Wright, that if we go back to the days of Spike Up to Grove back in the 1980s, they were just the powerhouse of the county. Winning 5 state titles back in those days?
Yeah, they were unstoppable. I remember I was graduated by then. Thank goodness I was, because they just kept winning title after title.
Sonia Wilmuth, remember, as a great pitcher
Sonia,
back in the day.
and they had the 2 sisters.
Ah, yeah, the Moore sisters.
The Moore sisters, yes.
Karen
yes,
Moore.
I got to play with them.
Yeah.
In the rec leagues for a while.
Here come the Mustangs now. Leadoff hitter Juliana McJilton. Juliana's sophomore. Has that bunt, lays it down that line. Moving on is the third baseman. Evie Joy, the freshman for Fallston, give you that Fallston starting lineup. Evie Joy at third, Sarah Frist at second, Peyton Griner at second base, I should say. Frist is the shortstop. Abby Marmon is at first base. Marcy Watts, and here comes the pitch. Now the bunt down, moving on at third base and throw to first, and out is the call. Good play by third baseman Evie Joy over to Abby Marmon. Got her by a step.
Yeah, that was a good bunt and a good play. Interesting that she tried to lay it down with the wind swirling. You might want to try to get it up in the air.
And Evie Joy, a freshman, and again, it shows you that she may be a freshman in age, but played a lot of softball, so she's got the experience. Brooke Leslie now, another sophomore, the first baseman. Brooke, a .340 hitter last year. That pitcher we talked about, Allie Underwood. Allie, in 5 innings of work during the preseason scrimmages, had 8 strikeouts. Last year, 8-2, a 3.20 ERA. Just a junior. Oh, nice pitch up high in the strike zone.
Yeah, that one fooled her a little bit. I think.
Like she took something off of it, maybe, huh?
Yeah, it did something weird. Looked almost like a rise ball.
Brooke Lusby. Line drive down the third base line. Foul. Right by, we talked about Coach French, and there he is down at third base. You notice the experience that Jim has. He didn't even bother. The ball went right by him. You know, hey, it's not going to hit me.
No. Let someone else get that ball.
I would have been ducking. I would have been down to there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Out in front.
Fought that pitch off a little bit. I think it would have been called a strike, so she did a good job.
Brian Frist, the second-year head coach at Fallston. We talked to him about his pitcher, Allie Underwood, and he said Allie is not the fastest pitcher in the world, but she can really spin it. As we saw that curve.
Yeah, we got a good view of that from behind the plate.
Barb, you were a pitcher back in high school, and you know it's a position that is just key to everything that happens. If you don't have a good pitcher, you don't have a good team. Pop up, coming foul over our heads.
Wow, I lost that one in the
Thought you
sun.
had
I
that.
know, I lost it in the sun. But you're absolutely right. You have to have a good pitcher, and you know, and now I see what I see is each team has a few good pitchers. You know,
Yeah.
Back in my day, you had one good pitcher, maybe.
And the great thing about pitching softball is you can pitch a lot of innings.
Yeah, you
inside and
can.
low.
It's not like baseball. You don't really get with the windmill. You don't really get tired.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's not real hard on your arm either. It's pretty easy motion.
1 out, nobody on base. Down low, that's the ball 4. I missed a ball there. And
I
so the
did
walk
too.
occurred. Brooke Lusby goes down to first base runner for C. Milton Wright. 1 out, 1 on. Kendra Miller at bat. Kendra, the shortstop for C. Milton Wright. Hit .333 last year with 4 doubles and a homer, 5 RBIs, 8 runs scored. Runner holds on at first base.
It's a good stop by the catcher.
Yep. Talking about that catcher, May Ambrose, a sophomore. May, a returning starter, pre-med biology student. 4.5 GPA in her second year on the team. Oh, squibs off the end of the bat. Moving on to second baseman, throw to first foot. Now it's dropped at first base. Runner is safe at first. Griner picked it up, threw it to Marmon.
Umpire's going to
They're gonna
discuss it to see
they-
if she had it.
They called her out like I did. It looked like the ball was there. You're noticing Coach Coach Jeff Dwyer signaling she's safe. He clearly did drop it. And the call is out. Now Jeff Dwyer is going to talk this over. It looked like she didn't have it long enough to be called an out. But,
That's the way it looked to me too. Usually they'll call it safe if you're transitioning, you know, catch it and then you're ready to throw it and you drop it while you're trying to throw it. But that didn't look like the case from here.
Runner goes down to second base safely. That's Lusby. Right now they're saying the batter is out from 4 to 3. That ball, when it came off the bat, had a lot of squib on it. I'm not sure it was still spinning that way. It looked like that Marmon just didn't concentrate on getting the ball in the glove.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. I think she was getting ready to, the runner at second might have gone to third, and I think that was worrying her a little bit.
Well, the out goes Fallston's way. See Milton Wright now cleanup hitter. This is Cam Alford, the freshman right fielder. Well, not often that you have a freshman batting in cleanup. Now, she wasn't originally the fifth hitter. Issy Youngworth, as we said, unable to play today because of illness. Takes something off of it, gets a strike, 1-1. Runner on at second base, Brooke Lusby. Got there on a walk, advanced on the fielder's choice. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Swung on, missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looked like she took a little bit off of that pitch too. Yeah, she's moving the ball very nicely around the plate.
It's a good call, Barb, but she is. She's one of those pitchers you can't dig in and time her. Outside on the curveball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at second base. Swung on and missed on that curveball. And down she goes. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. We have played 1 full, no score. Barb, your impression so far about both pitchers?
I'm impressed. Both pitchers are doing a great job. Each team got a runner on board, and one got the third, one got the second. But so far, so good.
The weather conditions today, I need to say something about the field. We drove home from Carolina last night in the rain, and it rained harder than I've seen it rain in years. I thought there was no way they were going to have a chance to play this game today, but Jeff Dwyer and his crew got out here all day long. They've been working on this field. But that field looks like it hasn't rained in a month.
The field looks great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think the wind helped to dry it out.
Yeah.
If you're out here dragging it, that's going to help too. Even the outfield, though, looks fairly dry.
Yeah. I think the field is high on sort of a little hill here, and so it drains really well. Speaking of the outfield, the outfield dimensions 185 feet down the lines, 210 into center field, 203 into the right center gap. So it's fair. We're thinking if they get the ball up in the air as we saw in the first inning toward left field.
Toward left field, right.
It could go.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to right field, but yeah, if you catch one down the left field line, it could go.
So the Mustangs again setting that lineup, Gianna Iori at third base, Kendra Miller at short. It's Gracie Newby at second base and Brooke Lusby at first. The batting order, Maddie Hoskins, the pitcher, and Noelle Beavers, the catcher. In the outfield, Alicia Jones, Juliana McJilton, and Cam Alford. Maddie Hoskins, the sophomore pitcher for C. Milton Wright. Again, was a spot starter last year, but is going to get most of the action this year. Talking to Coach Issy Youngworth, was their main pitcher last year. She's not going to be pitching a lot this year because she's a D1 prospect, not as a pitcher, but as an outfielder, infielder type. So they're going to sort of shift her away from pitching. So the real job now comes down to Hoskins to lead the way for the Mustangs. So now we come to the top of the second inning. It's Caitlin Horniak. Caitlin, the DP, ground ball into center field for the base hit. Fielded out there by center fielder Juliana McJilton, gets it back in. So 1 pitch and a runner on first base as Horniak reaches first base, the sophomore. Alex McDougall now, the junior right fielder. McDougall, a .345 batter last year, scored 9 runs, had 6 stolen bases. Pop up, foul, and out of play. While we look around, and it's a nice crowd building here despite the weather.
They're all sitting on the hill, up in the wind.
Beautiful place to watch a game. It's a nice sunny day. If it weren't for the wind, ooh, pitch on the inside corner.
Started on the outside and broke towards the batter.
That is a weird pitch, almost
That
like a
was-
screwball.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Runner on at first base, Horniak.
Tough take, but it was a ball.
Nicole Beaver's just doing a great job behind the dish. You can see she commands that, that batter's box, saying, here's what I want to pitch. Throw it right here. The senior down low and inside, scooped nicely by Beavers. Young lady who 2 years ago, as we said, had that major hip surgery, played mostly third base last year while she's getting her strength back. Now at full strength, healthy and back behind the plate, headed for Harford Community College next year. Inside.
Count goes full.
Barbara, you going to send the runner at first
I
base?
don't think so, not this early. I'm waiting for somebody to do it though. A little too early in the game, I think.
Nobody out, 3-2 pitch, pop foul. Moving first baseman out of play. Brooke Leslie got a nice jump on that ball, but it was out of play. Rick Morris getting a new set of softballs, puts it in his pouch, and now we're ready to go again. Full count, runner at first base, nobody out, top of the second inning. Inside, ball 4. Good job by McDougal to work that count.
It was, she was down 0-2 to start with and ended up walking.
May Ambrose now the catcher, sophomore, another of the returning starters who played last year again as a freshman. 2 on, nobody out. Hitter in the leg, right in the batter's box. We have the bases loaded now. Maddie Hoskins got out of a jam in the first inning, but now bases loaded and nobody out. Brings up Evie Joy, the freshman. JV volleyball player. Works for the homeless shelter here in the county. Also, she works in the ski patrol.
Ski patrol.
My goodness. That's an active young lady, 4.3 GPA. Nobody out, bases loaded, down low. Barb, you made your living as a pitcher. What is she doing wrong? She's lost control here, it seems.
She has maybe trying to be a little too fine, maybe trying to hit the corners a little too much. Sometimes catcher's got to give her a target right down the middle. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Curveball breaks outside. 2 balls, no strikes. I think Evie Joy, if you're the batter, probably going to take this pitch, don't you think?
Oh, I would say yes, definitely, especially the last batter being hit by a pitch.
Right down the middle. 2-1. She was taking. Now it's what's called a hitter's pitch. You've got the count in your favor. The pitcher doesn't want to go 3 balls on the batter. Third base. Has it. Throw to home for the force. Throw back to first base. Double play. Yes. It goes from 3 to 2. It goes from 5 to 2 to 3. That went from third baseman Gianni Iori to the catcher Noelle Beavers to the first baseman Brooke Lusby. And so the no run scored. The runners do go up to second and third. Horniak out at the plate on the force out, and out at first is Evie Joy.
That was heads up play by the third baseman, who wasn't even, well, she was originally supposed to play second, right?
Yeah,
so,
she was.
Yeah, so it's.
Yep, we have thank you, Mr. We have a courtesy runner in for the catcher at third base. So pay from 5 to 2 to 3. Out of the plate is Horniak. Safely at second and third now. Ground ball wide of third.
That last play is tough. Catcher's got to catch it from third baseman and pivot quickly and throw to first. She did a really good job.
She did that, cleared the runner, made that great throw to first base.
Threw it inside the line so she wouldn't hit the runner, and she did everything right.
Runners at second and third. It is the courtesy runner at second base for the catcher, Ambrose. McDougall on at third base. Top foul. I ducked, I did.
That was a healthy cut. You should have ducked.
Batter is Peyton Griner, if we didn't mention that. Peyton up now the number 9 hitter in the order. So what had been a bases loaded, no out situation for Fallston, now second and third and 2 outs. Hoskins looking to wiggle out of this jam again. Right off the end of the bat, foul. Barb, she does have that ball moving. As you said, the one pitch moved inside, this one just curved outside.
Yep.
Griner, National Honor Society member, 4.5 GPA, a 354 hitter last year as a sophomore. Line shot foul. Hit that hard, but pulled it well foul.
Hit it right into the batting cage net that they take batting practice off to start the game.
You can tell one pitch came right off the end of the bat. This one came well foul to third. So Hoskins doing a good job of mixing up her pitches, changing speeds. Swung on and missed on the high fastball. Wow, what a job by Hoskins to work her way out of a jam. Bases loaded and nobody out, and a down in the count to the hitter, and then got her hit into a double play.
Wow, that double play was key. It really was.
Well, and do give
Change the momentum.
Yeah, Gianna Iori, who came in and cut that ball, and she knew exactly what to do. That is to throw to home to get the force out and then to first base. Barb, that's the kind of thing where you can't think. You have to have in your mind what you're going to do. If the ball's hit to me, what am I going to do? Got to force out anywhere I want to go to home. And then, as you said, Nicole Beavers, what a great catch, making the tag at home of the base and then clearing the runner, throwing to first base.
Yeah, and you know, one of the options for that third baseman, she could have stepped on third, but then that takes away the force play at home. So, you know, and you don't have time to think about all that. Like you said, you just react.
Yep. No runs, a hit. No errors, and there were 2 runners left on base. We've now played an inning and a half. We have no score. So already we've seen the kind of play that, you know, just you dream about. As a third baseman, again, talking about Iori, she was in front of the base, so to go back and touch the base.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, that would have been tough.
But she was coming in through the plate and into first base. Wow. And what do they say about the person who makes the great defensive play is usually the first one to bat? Nicole Beavers comes to bat now, the catcher. Nicole, a 205 hitter last year. Senior, one of the 2 seniors on the team for C. Milton Wright. Allie Underwood, the pitcher for Fallston, May Ambrose, the catcher. Nice change up.
That's a good pitch. It's a strike, but it's not a pitch as a hitter that you really want to swing at.
Yep. Curveball, what a nice pitch. That's a nice waist pitch, you know. They call it waist, meaning that it's close enough that the batter has a thought, I've got to protect.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a true waist pitch, but you want it to be a little bit tempting.
Ground ball, third base, moving on it is Joy. Throw to first base for the out at first base to Abby Marmon. Good plays by Evie Joy, comes in and makes that scoop and throws it on to first base. Barb, I'm impressed with the defense so far on both sides.
I am too, and it hasn't been easy. You know, these are not routine plays that they're making out there with the wind swirling and the sharp ground balls.
Maddie Hoskins now. Ground ball third, fair ball. Joy with the scoop. Throw to first base for the out. Boy, what a nice arm. I remind you that Evie Joy is a freshman. Barb, when you were a freshman, now you were a superstar, and I say that you won't say. You probably could have made that play. As a freshman, I would not have known what to do.
Yeah, but I don't think this is the first time she's played softball. That's the key. She's got experience out there.
2 up, 2 down. Gianna Iori now. Gianna hits the left field. Remember
Could
that
be
wind
trouble.
out there. And making the catch cleanly is Maggie Watts. Maggie, the flex player, playing left field. So 3 up and 3 down. How many pitches did she throw? About 5?
I think exactly 5. Yeah.
Wow. So that was quick. You had the top of the first inning. It took about, what, 10, 15 minutes. That took maybe 3.
Yeah. And that's
No
what,
runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've now played 2 full innings, no score. It was a nice job there by Maggie Watts. That ball, again, could have carried a bit further. The wind had died a bit. Now,
Yeah.
again, we're talking about a gusting wind, so at times that one that went over the left fielder's head earlier, the wind took it. That one, the wind didn't seem to have that much impact.
no, it didn't that time. She tracked that ball very well. So now we got Fallston, who threatened in the last inning with a 1-2-3 inning, so they get right back at it.
Yeah, you talk about it, the Mustangs had barely time to get to the bench and sit down,
Right.
much less relax a bit. Pitcher Maddie Hoskins been in trouble both innings, worked her way out of it in the first inning with a runner on third base, and then had a major jam with the bases loaded and nobody out.
No outs, yeah.
And Barbara, she was down on the batter. Came in with a great pitch to get a strike, and then the batter swung and hit the ball into the double play. Talking about Evie Joy. Hit the ball hard, but hit it right at the third baseman.
Yep. I
So
think
now
that's why they turned a double play, because she hit it so hard.
That's true. Sarah Frist now, the leadoff hitter. She popped to the shortstop back in the first inning. Frist, a .475 hitter last year. This young lady, first team all-county last year. 3rd year on the team. Cross-country runner, indoor track. She's a dual sports spring player. She also runs track in the spring. I'm not sure how you do that.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I don't know.
We're playing softball in the spring.
Oh, and by the way, she's a 4.875 GPA student. Oh, goodness. And the daughter of the coach, Brian Frist. I know your dad coached you some, Barb, and that it's an unusual kind of sometimes a friction-oriented kind of a relationship when you're the daughter of the coach.
Yeah, it can be. It wasn't with my dad. He
Yeah.
was so easygoing and mellow.
Strike on the inside corner. Yeah, I get that kind of impression with the Frist as well, that they have that father-daughter coach thing going pretty well. Up high, ball 4. Frist works to the walk. This young lady had 17 stolen bases last year.
Oh boy, okay.
I'm thinking she's going to be on the
yeah,
move.
somebody's going to soon.
That's the, see, that's the second walk. She hit a batter last inning, did Hoskins. Batter is Path. Squares the bunt. There she goes. Throw to second base. She is dived. Save.
Safe.
That head first slide gets in there. Boy, nice play by Beavers. Nice throw and a nice tag, but even a better run there by Frist. That was impressive, Barb.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get her.
Yeah, I think the ball was there.
It was
but that
a
head first
perfect
slide.
throw, yeah.
Ball 1. Runner at second base, nobody out. Inside corner, strike 1, 1-1. Yeah, I really do. That head first slide got her in, but the tag was right there. It's the kind of play you're looking for at second base.
You know, and it's also possible the throw could have been hung up a little bit by the wind.
Could have been. Path had that double back in the first inning, the one we talked about that went over the head of the left fielder. She died at third base after reaching third base on a wild pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Top of the third inning. Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive, shortstop knocks it down, unable to make the play. Good play by Kendra Miller to be able to keep that ball in the infield. Also a smart play by Frisk to stay at second base.
Yes, it was. That would have been the only play she had.
Yeah, if she'd have tried to go to third, it would have been a dead. I'm really not sure if Kendra Miller could have thrown out a path at first base.
I gave her a single. I gave her a
would as
base
well.
hit, yeah. But the shortstop did a great job keeping that ball in front of her, not letting it get to the outfield.
Allie Underwood now. Bunt, foul. Not often you see your number 3 hitter bunting, but you know, they're playing for the runs here.
No, it's not, but generally your number 3 hitter has good bat control, so
Yep.
they might be one of the better bunters on the team.
357 batter last year. We're talking about Allie Underwood. Popped up to the first baseman back in the first inning. Squares to bunt. Nobody at third. Now the shortstop Miller does get over there. Good job by Frisk. Went halfway, saw that the catcher had made the catch. Barb, you know this situation where the third baseman is charging. That shortstop has to be on the move to cover third base.
They do, and if there is a steal, the catcher's got to kind of throw through the bat or in the batter's box.
There's the bunt foul at the bat. Ball just deadened right there. Second strike now, 2-2.
Catcher did a great job picking it up. I don't think it would have spun fair, but she didn't give it the chance. She picked it up right away.
Underwood, a 4.1 GPA student. Line drive, caught by the third baseman. Frisk is going to be back safely. You could see that third baseman Iori caught the ball and then sort of thought she wanted to throw and then sort of held back.
Yeah, it looked like that a little bit.
So humpback line drive for the out. One out now. Runners hold on at first and second base. Frisk at second, Path at first. Brings up Abby Marmon. Abby, a second team All-County last year. Batted .475 with 21 RBIs. 2 runners on base, 1 out. Down low, ball 1. Marmon flew out to the center fielder back in the first inning. She was the third out of that first inning. Down low. Noelle Beavers down to block that ball. Barb, you know, as a pitcher, having the confidence in a catcher, no matter what you throw, she's going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, you have to have a good catcher. And you have to trust them that you can throw whatever, and you're right, that they'll stop it.
Up high. Marmon, the cleanup hitter. Caitlin Horniak on deck. 3 balls, no strikes. Think she might be swinging here?
I don't. I think she's going to take.
And she does. Ball 4 down low. Bases loaded again. Second inning in a row that Hoskins has had the bases loaded. You remember that great play made by third baseman Iori, the catcher to the first baseman with a double play last inning. There is 1 out now. Horniak, the batter, singled. Got as far as third base. She was the first runner thrown out at home. Fly ball left field and hit. Over the left fielder's head. To the fence, 1 run scores. Here comes a 2nd run scored. Here comes a 3rd run. She's going to have there at the third base. A double by Horniak over the left fielder's head. 2 RBIs. So our first runs of the game. Frisk from second base. Path scoring. All the way to third base is Marmon. On at second base is Horniak with the double. Brings up McDougal. McDougal walked last inning. Barb back to the wind.
Yeah, again, that left field is a tough position to play tonight.
Alicia Jones went back, got a glove on it, but the wind just seemed to carry it over her glove.
I couldn't tell. You know, we don't have a great angle, but that ball looked like it got close to the fence.
Yeah. That fence about 210 feet away there in left center. 2-0 in the lead for Fallston. They have got runners on second and third, 1 out. Great stop by Beavers, gets the ball in the dirt. Maddie Hoskins has had some control issues today. Line drive, dropped, and by the pitcher, stops it. That ball hit her, I think, maybe in the left, maybe hip area.
Yeah, she might be hurt a little bit.
That ball was hit on a line back to the pitcher. You know, nice job, even though, you know, you knew she had to be hurting, was able to pick the ball up and make the throw to first base.
Yeah, and you could hear that too. It was just a thud when it hit her.
McDougal hitting the ball hard. Hope that Maddie Hoskins is not seriously hurt. Looks like maybe in the left, just above
near
hip
the
a bit.
belt. I don't know if it was above or below the belt, but it was
Yeah.
near the belt.
Marvin, you know, as a pitcher, that's the push-off or actually the landing leg. So you're hoping that, you know, first of all, she's not injured, and secondly, it doesn't inhibit her. Thank goodness, and here we have our athletic trainer on field, able to come right on and assess the situation. Far back in our day when we were coaching, Janie Anderson for you and me, and you know, we didn't have trainers, so we had to be
No.
our own trainer.
Yeah, I had my mom. She was a nurse.
Yeah.
She would run out and somebody got hurt. She would help them.
They're going to allow May Hoskins, or Maddie Hoskins, that is, to have a couple of pitches just to see if she's okay. Bad break for McDougal. She hit the ball. That would have been probably a base hit right back up the middle, but unfortunately for her, hit it right back at the pitcher. Hoskins almost got her glove on it, but it just sort of got by the glove and hit her in the left side. 2 down now. Runners still remain at second and third. They'll bring up May Ambrose. Ambrose, who got hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Ambrose, the sophomore catcher. .388 hitter last year. Curveball, a little bit outside. Line drive, center field moving, falls in for the base hit. 1 run scores, turning third and staying at third base. Go back to third base, and now a wild throw, and that run will score. Horniak comes over for the 4th run, going all the way to third base is the young lady Ambrose with the single and a 2-base error.
That was unfortunate. Center field did a great job getting it in, getting the cutoff. And that runner was going back to third. I don't think the throw was absolutely necessary.
So the error allows the 4th run to score. Brings up Evie Joy. Corinne Wood coming in as a courtesy runner at third base for catcher Ambrose. Swung on this, Evie Joy, the young lady who hit that ground ball to the third baseman for the double play back in the second inning. 4 runs in here for Fallston. Outside. Outside. The wind, which had died down somewhat now, seems to be picking up again. We're in the top of the third inning, 4-0 the lead for Fallston. Down low.
Great stop by the catcher.
Noelle Beavers has really shown why she is such a key part to the C. Milton Wright team. back playing full-time in the position that she enjoys, and that is as the catcher. Down low, ball 4.
Again, as a catcher, oh no, she went to second.
And the throw back to the plate, she is.
Oh, dead ball, okay.
Rich Morris is saying it is a dead ball. He's sending the runners back to where they started.
Oh, nice.
Now what's the call?
Calling an out.
Calling an out. Umpire's going to give us an explanation.
The runner was out from the look-back rule. The bad runner had hit first and was continuing, which doesn't mean anything, but the girl at third stayed off third and was stationary and did not make a move toward third or home, and so that makes her out.
You may have heard that the runner at first base was fine. She turned first base after the walk and went on to second base, but the runner at third base was off the base. Look-back rule means once the ball is in the circle, you have to go back to the base.
One way or the other, that's right. Got to make a decision.
She didn't, so the out is recorded. So Peyton Griner will come back up to bat, call the runner out at third base. That was the courtesy runner. So 4 runs do score for Fallston. 4 runs on, let's see, 2 base hits. Yeah, 2 base hits and 3 walks. So no error. There was 1 error. So 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base, and there was 1 error in that inning. So we now played 3.5 innings or 2.5 innings with a 4-0 lead for Fallston. 3 of those runs Barb earned. The 4th run was one that probably shouldn't have happened if you're C. Milton Wright. No need to make that throw where the runner was at third base.
Exactly, but Fallston's been threatening every inning.
Yep.
I mean, it was a matter of time before they push some runs across. So C. Milton Wright's just got to do the same.
4 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base in that top of the third. So now we go to the bottom of the third inning. Number 8 hitter actually, Alicia Jones, the sophomore. Ground ball, shortstop, Frist goes by her for the base hit. Nice job by Jones picking on that first pitch. Jones was a 143 hitter last year. Shows now that she was ready to swing the bat. Now here's Gracie Newby. Gracie, who came in as a substitute late, squares the bunt, puts it down the third base line. It's going to be foul. Gracie Newby, just a sophomore.
That bunt would have been trouble had it stayed fair. That was a pretty good bunt.
We mentioned that Izzy Youngworth, who was the star for C. Milton Wright, unfortunately today, what a bad break. She comes up ill, the cleanup hitter, and so C. Milton Wright had to shift its lineup around. Nice bunt down the third base line. It's fair, the throw to first base, and the out is recorded. So it is a sac bunt by Newby. Called it from the third baseman, Evie Joy, to the first baseman, Abby Marmon. Moving up to second base is Jones. That'll bring us back up to the top of the lineup, Juliana McJilton. Juliana, who was out on a bunt back in the first inning. Third baseman Joy threw her out. Timeout. Looks like a lineup card is, and just as, oh, Bell, we're gonna have fun. Just as Jeff Dwyer bends over to pick it up, the wind says, I'll take it a ways. He finally gets it. Probably you wouldn't normally see a runner or a batter sacrifice when you're down by 3 runs, but that was your 9th hitter. Didn't have a lot of experience, so the idea is get a productive out.
Yeah, and you can play small ball, and it really requires Fallston to play defense and challenge. It's challenging them a little bit. They came through.
Juliana McJilton, just a sophomore, 472 as a freshman last year. Shot to center field, moving back and over her head. Runner turns third base and coming toward the plate. The double scores a run. Boy, McJilton put a jilt into that ball.
She sure did. That
Over
was,
the center fielder. Looked like Mary Path maybe took one step in and it was over her head.
you know, and that's why you bunt, because you got the top of your order coming up, get some runners in scoring position, and then good things happen.
So Jones scoring from second base on the double by Juliana McJilton, bringing up Brooke Lusby. Lusby, who walked out on the fielder's choice. Allie Underwood, the first run of the game given up by the Fallston pitcher. Underwood 8-2 last year. Timeout is Jim French is going to talk to his batter. Lusby, a .340 hitter last year, scored 15 runs.
Yeah, maybe she missed the sign. Maybe that's why he's talking to her. I don't know.
Boy, give the Mustangs a lot of credit. That inning, you give up 3 runs. You give up 4 runs, actually, and the last one was on an error. But they came right back here now to make it 4-1. In the top of their lineup with Lusby now, the number 2 hitter. Took a little off, did Underwood, got the strike call. Bottom of the third, 4-1. 1 out, runner at second base. Lusby running down to third base now, and the tag, beautiful tag by Frist, and the out is recorded. Good job by Frist, the shortstop, and a great throw by May Ambrose. Put the ball right on the bag, and the tag was made.
I was gonna say, that's the old strike him out, throw him out.
And that is the strike him out, throw him out.
Defense didn't realize that was a third out.
Lusby goes down swinging, and the throw from the catcher to the shortstop covering third for the out. And just like that, what looked like a promising inning has ended with just 1 run scored.
Yeah, and I think that was what
here's your replay. You'll be able to see how the catcher, Ambrose, threw the ball when nobody was covering. There was nobody there, and she knew that Frist was going to be able to get to the bag, put the ball right on the button, right where she had to, and the runner slid right into it, the runner being McJilton.
Yeah, great throw and a great tag. Heads up.
Heads
up play.
We've seen some great defensive plays here today, that being one of them. That play looks like, well, it's simple to make, but you've got a shortstop that's on the move, so she's got to get to the bag and catch the ball while she's running to be able to put the tag down. And the only way you're going to be successful is if the catcher gives you the throw in just the right spot.
Right, yeah, it's not easy to do.
So that ends the bottom of the third inning with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll go now to the top of the 4th inning. That'll bring up Peyton Griner. Now, remember, Griner was at the bat when there was that call where the runner at third base had ventured off the bag and didn't get back. So no balls, no strikes as Griner gets to bat again. She struck out back in the 2nd inning. Fly ball, right center field, moving down, and it's going to fall for the base hit. Griner wasted no time, got the first pitch. .354 hitter last year. The hitter gets the base hit.
Fallston continues to stay aggressive at the plate, swinging at first pitches.
4th inning, and Sarah Frist, the leadoff hitter, is up for the 3rd time. Frist walked, popped up to the shortstop, turns, bunts the ball. Beautiful bunt, throw to first base for the out. No, safe because she didn't have her foot on the bag. I believe that's the call. It looked like the ball.
That's what it looked like from here, yeah.
Yeah, so give her a sacrifice. Fielder's choice, put Frist on at first base. But it looked like the ball was there in time.
It looked like second baseman was there in time. She just couldn't find the bag.
Yeah. That's a double bag, too, so the runner runs at that orange bag, and the white bag is in play. So now runners at first and second, nobody out. Mary Path at the bat. Path has a double, walked and scored last time. Ball down low. Boy, Fallston puts so much pressure, Barb, on you.
Yeah, they do. You've got to think every play, what's going on, what do I got to do, where do I got to be?
Foul ball. But I'm going to give Frist a base hit on that because it just seemed like she either beat it out or the The second baseman wasn't able to get her foot on the bag.
Yeah, that's the trouble. I gave her the error, so I don't know
Okay,
who
then
the official scorekeeper is. I guess it's not you or me.
I don't think so. Ground ball third base, touching third base. Nice play by third baseman Iori. Iori knew what she had to do, and that was the force out at third base. So force out unassisted out at third base is Griner. On the 5 unassisted. That puts Pfaff on at first base. Frist holds on at second base. 1 out now. Underwood the batter. Underwood lined out to the third baseman last time. Bunts, pitcher, first baseman has it. The throw to first, the out is recorded. Running the ball in is what she has to do and does it. Now the third runner at third base, Frist, goes back. So the sacrifice moves Frist up to third base. And Pfaff on now at second base. Checking out, that's Griner. Yep, I'm right the first time. Pfaff is on at second. Underwood now, swing and missed.
Fallston suddenly barraging C. Milton with bunts. Lots of bunts this inning.
I mean, this is Abby Marmon now, the batter. Underwood had made that last out. Line shot into center field. Over the center field to say, and it's gone. It's a 3-run home run for Abby Marmon over the center field fence. So the 2-out, 3-run home run by Miss Abby Marmon, who had a home run last year, had 21 RBIs.
That was dead center too, Don. That's the deepest part of the field.
210 feet over that center field.
Right at our cameraman out there.
I'm not even sure the wind had anything to do with that.
No, I don't think
that ball
so.
was hit. So 3 runs in here, that makes our score now 7-1. And brings up Caitlin Horniak. Horniak hits it to center field, McJillian comes in and makes the catch. Juliana McJilton with that catch, and that will end the inning, but not before Fallston Cougars scored 3 runs on that big 3-run home run by Abby Marmon. 3 runs on 1. Well, depending on whether we're giving Frist a hit or not.
Debatable.
We'll say 3 hits, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base, courtesy of Abby Marmon. Wow.
Yep, that's what you want your cleanup hitter to do.
Well, the Cougars, who were 13-6 last year, and remember that was a team composed almost all of sophomores who won 13 games last year. They're back together as juniors. No, not one senior on the entire team. If you can imagine having a team without a senior.
I can't. I don't even know how that happens. I really don't.
Yeah. But then you've got juniors who are leaders. Marmon, who's one of the captains of one of the juniors, and Sarah Frist, who's the other captain, again, both as juniors.
Right, and they have to be. They don't have the seniors out there. They have to be the leaders.
Abby Marmon, that ball was hit, Barbara, you said it, to the deepest part of the entire stadium, right at our cameraman. I hope he didn't dodge out there. What do you think?
I hope he got it on camera.
Yeah.
I hope he got it.
Well, now the Mustangs find themselves down by 6 runs, down by 7-1. Kendra Miller, the shortstop, who grounded out to second base. Now the hitter, number 3 hitter in the lineup, popped up into left field, going to be in foul territory, moving on it and unable to make the catch, but it is a foul ball. Alicia Jones, check it, turn it over. That's Maggie Watts. Maggie Watts, the sophomore. I think that wind may have bothered her, maybe the sun a bit.
Too.
Remember, we talked about that sun. If it bothers anybody, it's the third baseman, left fielder. So Miller has a life here. Ground ball foul at third. Kendra, a .333 hitter last year, 4 doubles and a home run. Mustangs coming off a 10-8 season in the regular year, lost in the region first semifinals of the regions, and so they finished 10-9. Team that won the state title back in 2017. Up high. Allie Underwood, the pitcher for Fallston. Underwood, a junior. 8-2 last year, a 3.20 ERA. Pop up, back foul over our heads.
Right into a chair.
Right into a chair, an empty chair, right?
Empty chair.
Thank goodness. 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Kendra Miller. Another pop-up foul. I don't know, maybe the spectator said something that annoyed her.
I don't know.
2 foul balls in the same area.
But I think one of these foul balls is going to hit the van behind us eventually.
Oh. Boy, Miller is on attack mode. You throw it, I'll hit it.
Yeah, she hit that one off the inside of the bat, but was right on it.
Yeah. 2 strikes. The old idea about, you know, don't take that 3rd strike. So anything close, don't let the umpire have a chance to send you back to the bench.
Yeah, so my dad always said if it's close enough for the umpire to call a strike, it's close enough for you to swing at it.
Yep. No bad hops on the way back to the bench. Pop up foul. I got it, I got it, I got it, I don't got it.
Oh, they're getting closer.
Right over the... Back in the day, I would have had that, but you know now, I think under the table is a better spot.
Yeah, we didn't bring our gloves today.
No. Kendra Miller, right off the end of the bat. I think she's seen what 5 balls and she swung at all of them.
Yeah, there is 1 ball, I think, but yeah, she swung at most of them that have been thrown to her.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller hanging on there. Number 3 hitter in the order, and you can see why. Another foul ball.
You know, as a pitcher, you get frustrated. You know,
Yeah.
you're throwing good pitches, and they keep fouling them off, and it's really frustrating.
Yep. And again, you're throwing them close enough to the plate that Miller feels like she has to swing, but again, not good enough to put good wood on the, or good aluminum, I guess it is, on the ball. Outside.
I was going to say, you're not swinging at this one. I'll get you.
Yeah, you're right. She
Or
threw
if you do, there's no way you're going to hit it.
unless you have a pole, you're not going to be able to hit that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Line shot into left field, over the left fielder's head. It's going to be off the, I believe that's a home run. It is.
Off the foul
pole. A home run for Kendra Miller. Miller goes back to second base, making sure she hit it. That ball hit the screen on the foul pole. Home run for Kendra Miller. So Miller says to Marmon, if you can hit a home run, I can as well. Difference is that was a 1-run home run rather than a 3-run home run.
And after fighting off so many balls.
Well, you're right. Kendra Miller says, finally, you gave me one in my happy zone.
She was not going to get walked either. She saw him swing and keep swinging.
Boy, keeping that ball fair, it looked like the ball might curve foul, but it stayed right on that line.
Did. Yeah, the wind was helping it.
Yeah.
Push it foul, but it stayed in.
Yeah. Now, what would be Izzy Youngworth's spot here is instead going to be Cam Alford. Izzy turned up ill today and was not able to play. Cam Alford is a freshman, came who fanned it back in the 1st inning. So we've seen a double play. We've seen 2 home runs. Seen a stolen base on a slide at the base. Swung on a miss. Seen a runner called out for not going back to the base.
For not making a decision, yes.
Yeah. What do they say? Every time you come to a ball game, you see something you've never seen before. Nice pitch.
And
Nice
catcher
take.
set up outside and she hit the target. It wasn't meant to be a strike. They were just getting her to chase something.
Remember, Alfred, again, a freshman. There's that curveball.
There she got her.
That was far enough outside that she couldn't catch up with it. One out now. Noelle Beavers, the catcher, up. Noelle grounded out to the third baseman last time up. Leading off in the second inning. 7-2 our score. Fallston scored 4 in the third and 3 more here in the top of the fourth. Just foul. Evie Joy making the move over there, just in case it stayed fair. Oh, good take by Beavers.
Yeah, it was a little off-speed pitch.
I hate those changeups. You get all your weight moving forward, and here comes the ball. It takes maybe a day to get there. Noelle Beavers, the senior catcher. Ground ball, third base. Joy has it. Throw to first base. Out at first base. Boy, Rich Morris right on it says that ball was fair, right on the line. Good job by Evie Joy. Picks it up, makes the throw to first base, so the freshman gets the out at first base. Now it's Maddie Hoskins, the sophomore pitcher. Hoskins grounded out to third base in the second inning. Pop up, shortstop, Frist, moving. Frist makes the catch. Good job by Miss Sarah Frist at shortstop. That's not an easy play, Barbara, as you know, when the ball's hit
I
over
thought
your
it
head.
was trouble when it was hit, but she tracked it very well.
So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. That one big hit by Kendra Miller right down the third base foul line, hit the, you called it the fair pole, and it should be called the fair pole. Incorrectly, it's named the foul pole.
Yeah, I'm impressed with C. Milton Wright. Every time Fallston scores, they come right back. Now they're not scoring in bunches like Fallston is, but they're not giving up.
7-2 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Softball, as you well know, is a 7-inning game unless, of course, it's tied. But they didn't have what they called the mercy rule back in your day when you were playing, where if you're down by 10 runs after 5 innings, after you've batted 5 times, the game is called.
Yeah, in some situations they did, and it was 8 runs when I played. I don't know when it changed to 10, but, you know, if you're playing in a tournament and you got to keep on schedule, you know, sometimes they'll put that into play.
I think both of these teams have impressed me. Their first game of the year, remember that. This is their first time out. So, you know, sometimes the jitters and everything's not settled, but they have played well defensively. And, of course, offensively, Fallston has been very impressive.
Yeah, I agree with both teams are executing.
You have number 4 going in for 21 down in the flex position, and you have number 7 going in for number 6.
And that's for your pitcher's ready to pitch. You can't pitch yet. There's no umpire. Okay, and that would be, Rich, who is that for?
Once again, 4 is going in for 21. 7
No,
is going in
which
for
team,
6.
though? Which team?
For C. Milton Wright?
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, for Fallston.
Oh, for Fallston.
Yes, my fault.
Okay. Talking with the umpire there, it looks like Corinne Wood is going into the game. We'll get those changes for you in just a moment. Umpire Rich Morris very kindly coming back. The pitcher was ready to throw, but Rich said, hey, you can't throw without me.
Everyone was ready. The pitcher was ready, catcher was ready, the batter was ready.
Okay, this is Alex McDougall. Alex, who walked back in the second inning, grounded back to the pitcher, or actually she was the one who hit the line drive that hit the pitcher back in the third inning. Maddie Hoskins gone all the way, giving up the 7 runs, 6 of them earned. And wind still whistling. Somebody told me the wind was going to die down, Barb. Who said that? Oh, that was you.
Oh, that was me.
Right.
But I heard it from someone else.
Probably the weatherman.
Probably,
Wrong
yes.
again. Down low. Foul back. Barb, I think that makes the count 2-2. We don't have a scoreboard.
I think it's full.
Think it's full?
Yeah, because I heard them chanting 3 in a row, which
Okay.
means, you know, you got to
Okay.
throw 3 in a row.
Got it. 3-2. Full count. Leadoff hitter McDougal. Inside, ball 4. McDougal walks for the second time. Let's see, I'm trying to count up the walks. It looks like that might be the 6th walk and 1 hit batter. So if Hoskins has had an issue, it is it with her control. Checking to make sure this base hit into center field.
Gets by the center
Gets by
fielder.
the center fielder, and the runners will move up. That was May Ambrose. I was checking to make sure that that was the runner in the game, and it was indeed. So a single to center field and an error moves runners up to second and third with nobody out. So Ambrose now is 2 for 2, hit by a pitch and 2 hits. Evie Joy, the batter. Evie hit into a double play, that third baseman double play. Pop up, moving on at first baseman. Oh, what a catch. Nope, not able to hold on to it.
I think she would have been out of play.
Brooke Lusby coming over and threatening that rolled up tarp over
Yeah,
there.
that was a great effort.
Nobody out, 2 on. Joy, you remember, hit into the double play, started by third baseman Gianna Iori back in the second inning. Outside, good play by Beavers. Noelle Beavers, again, the story of the game. Young lady who had that major hip surgery back as a sophomore. Played some last year at third base, now back doing what she is intended to do, and that is as a catcher. Just doing a wonderful job. Those folks who appreciate catching, and I know you do, Barb, as a former pitcher, just makes it so comfortable. You throw it anywhere, I'll catch it.
And she doesn't look hindered at all. It looks like she has fully recovered.
Yeah. Hits the batter. Now that hit the ground first, but it still counts as being hit. That's the second hit batter of the game. So runners now at first, second, and third, bringing up Peyton Griner. Griner, the second baseman. Play at any base. Change up a bit high. Griner, a .354 batter last year as a sophomore. Not bad when you can have a .354 hitter batting 9th in your order.
No, that's pretty good.
Fly ball, left field, moving, in for the base hit, 1 run scores, turning third and holding on. So it's a single, 1 run scores, that would be McDougal. All the other runners move up.
That was tough because the infield was in, because the bases were loaded, so the shortstop was in, playing in, and that one fell right behind her.
So 2 for 3 for Griner now, an RBI. Back up to the top of the order, bases loaded, nobody out. Sarah Frist. Pop up right in the middle of the infield. Third baseman calling it and makes the catch. Good job by Iori, comes in and makes that catch. Battling the sun. First out of the inning. Bases remain loaded. Mary Path now at the bat. Mary walked last time up. 2 for 2. Another pop-up.
Oh, yeah, done. That's close.
That's called duck for cover.
That one almost got you.
I see you were helping me. You were going to catch
Yeah,
that ball.
yeah.
No, just duck. Get out
I
of
don't
the
have
way.
enough cord. I couldn't reach.
Oh, goodness. We're standing right behind the screen, and the screen is, what, about 15 feet high?
And it's flat. It doesn't have the
Yeah.
hangover.
But that ball found a way to threaten us. We're okay. Mary Paff still at the bat. One out, bases loaded, inside. No, the call. Let the umpire call it there, Mr. Commentator. That no balls and 2 strikes? Swung on and missed. No, she can't run. First base was occupied, so the runner is out.
Good call by the third base coach.
Yeah, because the runners, if they see that runner running to first base, they tend to want to run also.
Yes.
And it could have been a double play. That'll bring up Allie Underwood, the pitcher, facing her opposite number. Allie last time went out unassisted. 0 for 3. What a play by Beavers. That ball was in the left-hand batter's box, and she was able to get out and stop it. 2 out now. Fouled out. Boy, if Hoskin could work her way out of this inning with just 1 run scored.
Yeah, that would be impressive.
I have the score is 8-2. Is that what you have, Barb?
That is what I have, yes.
Yep. We don't have a scoreboard here, so we're relying on my faulty and Barb's very good scorekeeping. Just outside.
It's been a long time since I've kept score like this.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Oriole games, you see people doing it, but it's been a while for me.
It's fun. Abby Underwood. Fly ball, right field. Looks like it's going to be foul, and is. Cam Alford coming over, giving it a look. Count remains 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The bases are full. Line shot, right field. Alfred unable to make the catch. The ball hits her glove, falls in. 2 runs will score. Here comes a 3rd run. Throw back to the pitcher, and all 3 runners are going to score on that 3-base error to the right fielder. Very unfortunate. Those 3 runs are scoring.
Yeah, it looked like the defense fell asleep a little bit while the runners were running around.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking to the infielders, telling them where to throw it.
Jeff Dwyer going to come out and talk to his team to probably discuss that exact thing. First, the error made in right field, but then, as you said, Barb, compounded because they allowed Fallston just to keep running. And give the Cougars credit, they're not stopping.
No, they weren't stopping. And that's, as a defense and you're out there, you gotta constantly, people have their backs to the play, so they can't catch the ball and know where to throw it. So the rest of the defense who's not involved in the play have to tell them where to throw the ball. And I didn't hear anything during that play.
So Barb, I've got 11 now. Do you have 11 as well?
I do.
11-2. Foul ball. This is Abby Marmon, the young lady who hit the 3-run home run last time up. I make that point about 11-2 because the mercy rule does start to come into rule. That is, if you batted 5 times and you're down by 10 runs, the game ends at that point. So we are in the top of the 5th inning. If Fallston scores 1 more run, then you would force Signal to Wright to score at least 1 run to keep the game alive. So the score 11-2. Here we are in the top of the 5th inning. Abby Marmon, who is 1 for 2. There's a shot into left field for a base hit by the left fielder.
By the left fielder.
This could do it. Coming all the way around from first base to score. is Underwood. So Marmon with the base hit reaches third base on the error. That is the 12th run of the game, and now it's 12-2. Bring up Caitlin Horniak. Caitlin is 2 for 3, single, a double, and a flyout. So the Mustang defense is really not delivered here. After playing pretty well through the entire game, this inning has been not something you want to see happen.
No, and it's mostly been the outfield play that, you know, I don't know, again, that was a line drive. The wind didn't affect that one, but.
Yeah. Horniak, just a sophomore. Fly ball into center field. McJilton moving on it. Makes the nice
shoestring catch.
Very, very nice catch by McJilton in center field. That is a defensive highlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs in that inning. 5 runs on, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 hits and an error. Actually 2 errors. 1 runner left on base, so we've now played 4.5 innings with the score, I've got 12-2, as we now go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And one more time, the mercy rule is that if you're down by 10 runs or more after you've batted 5 times, then the game would be called at that point. So if you're C. Milton Wright, your goal is to score at least 1 run here, so that you can keep the game alive.
They have the bottom of the lineup.
Yep.
At bat, and it's only their second at bat of the game.
Yeah,
so.
Iorio, who flew out to left field, and then you got Jones and then Newby. That's the 3 batters due up. Really impressed with Fallston all around. You know, their defense, their offense, but more than that, just their awareness of the game.
Yeah, they played a clean game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in all areas. They've been aggressive at the bat. They're hitting the ball hard.
We're checking. C. Milton Wright has 11-2, their scorebook. Ground ball into second base, fielded by the second baseman cleanly, and the throw to first for the out. Peyton Griner over to Abby Marmon. So 1 out. I'll ask our folks in the truck if they have the same score that we do. Alicia Jones at bat. Alicia got a base hit last time up, the single at the left. Yeah, the booth is telling us 12-2 is what they have as well. So some controversy here over whether it's 11 or 12. There's a shot into left field for a base hit. 2 for 2, Miss Alicia Jones. Got a single to left first time up and a single to left this time.
Yeah, so that 1 run makes a difference.
It does, it does. And I'm rooting for C. Milton Wright to score 1 run at least here, so it takes the controversy out of it. You know, then it would be down by 12-3 the way we have it. Brings up Newby now, Gracie Newby. Gracie, who was pressed into duty after Izzy Youngworth, the star for C. Milton Wright, came up ill today. What a tremendous vacancy that creates. Oh, nice play. Good play for the steal. That's a nice play by Alicia Jones. Allowed the catcher to throw to first base and then took off. Didn't come back to first base.
Yeah, so she deliberately, I think, kind of tempted the catcher to throw it. So she took a big lead, and the catcher did throw it, and immediately she went to second.
And if you're May Ambrose as a sophomore catcher, you've just learned lesson number 101. There's a ball down the right field line falling fair for the base hit. Uh-oh, off first base. Nope, the tag is not made, so we have runners at first and third. So the single to right field going down to third base is Jones. Newby dunks one in there down the right field line. So we have runners at first and third, one out. Now back to the top of the order in Juliana McJilton. Juliana with a double last time up. Bunted out in the first inning. There's that style where the left-handed hitters tend to run up and hit the ball. That's kind of new from not in our era where they used to do that.
No, it's kind of a slap bunt, but that was more like a slap hit.
The idea is that you can run and hit. That way you're almost a step and a half closer to first base as a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, as long as you stay in the box.
Ball goes by the catcher and down, and the run scores. And so just like that, it is now 12-3 on the pass ball to the catcher. Moving up to second base is Newby. So McJilton squares to bunt. The catcher is thinking about the bunt, and the ball is thrown a little bit outside, gets by her.
Yeah, I think it was a little low, too. It's in the dirt.
McJilton. There's another one in the dirt. Wild pitch.
Runner takes third on that wild pitch.
Yep, Newby down to third base. Timeout here as Fallston is going to talk it over. Brian Frist goes out and says, look, you know, we're up by 12-3, but we can't relax.
No,
You know.
it looks like she's trying to throw change-ups. I mean, those two that got in the dirt were rather slow pitches.
Yeah, Allie Underwood, you're right. May Ambrose did her best to try to block them. The
Yeah,
first one wasn't able to do so.
No, and you know, as a coach and a former pitcher, when you're up by this many runs, you want to throw strikes.
Yep.
You want them to have to execute, not you make errors.
Boy, give Milton Wright all the credit. You're down by 12-2. You're about to be mercy ruled out of the game, but you're not going to lay down and let it happen.
No, they haven't. They haven't yet.
Jilton, a .472 hitter last year. Up high.
And I think that might be what the coach told her. You know, just throw strikes.
Yep.
Even though that wasn't, but that didn't seem to be an off speed or anything like that.
This is the top of the lineup now. As you said, Barb, they had the bottom of the lineup coming up. Ground ball past the pitcher to second base. Run scores, and she's going to be out at first base. So the run does score as the RBI is recorded. McJilton gets the RBI, and that makes it now 12-4. That was a very close play at first base, too.
It was really close, but I think they got it right.
Brooke Lusby, who has fanned and walked in her 2 trips to the plate. Ground ball right at the plate. Might have hit the batter in the box.
Yeah, I think it did.
Brooke Lusby, 340 last year, 15 runs scored. Swung on the mist.
That was an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, had a curve on it too.
It did.
Allie Underwood, 8-2 last year as a sophomore. The great thing about this Fallston team, they're all young but with a lot of experience. Another foul ball. I see the fans are adopting my method, which is duck and cover.
Well, someone's holding the balls because the umpire needs a few. He doesn't have any.
Rich Morris, one of the great young men. I say young because everybody's younger than I am these days. Been an umpire around here for many, many years. Pop up, third baseman moving. Joy makes the catch, and that is the third out of the inning. But we play on regardless if it was 11-2 or 12-2. It's now 12-4. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We have now played 5 full. It is 12-4. part of it's been, you know, some mistakes obviously made by both teams. You know, C. Milton Wright in the outfield. Part of that is the sun, part's the wind, and part is inexperience. You really have to be impressed, though, with both teams, and especially with Fallston, the way they played the game.
Yeah, especially being the first game of the season,
Yeah.
you know, and first time you're out there competing. You know, practice is one thing, but playing in real games is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Do we have a new pitcher coming in?
It looks like, yeah,
Looks
number
like we do.
1 for C. Milton Wright. That's Alford, Cam Alford, who is the freshman outfielder, is now coming into pitch. So
She was in right field, right?
she was, yeah. Not sure where everybody else
I'm
is.
not
We'll
sure
try to get
either.
them. So
I think we
move.
got a new third baseman too. I
Yeah,
think. I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, the third baseman Iori is no longer there. Number 5 is at third base. That's Alex McDougall. Looks like McDougall is moving to third base. And Alfred is in at pitcher. Not sure if there's probably some more changes. We'll try to catch up those with you as we go. Okay. So yeah, Alfred is in at the pitcher.
So Alfred's pitching. Matty Hoskins, who was pitching, is now at third
At
base.
third, right. So
And I think third baseman went to right field.
yeah, Iori is in right
Yes.
field. Good.
Okay, we got it.
Swung on a missed. First batter up for Fallston. It's number 5, Alex McDougall. McDougall, who has walked twice and grounded to the pitcher or lined to the pitcher. Down low. Alfred again, just a freshman, tall and angular. You can see she can whip that ball. Ground ball, third base, right through the third baseman. You just get the position, they just put you there and they hit the ball to you. Not fair.
Yeah, they know who to pick on.
So the ball goes past the third baseman Hoskins for the error. Again, at 12-4, remind you, if Fallston scores 2 runs, then the game would end because they would be up by 10, and C. Milton Wright has had 5 at-bats. May Ambrose, sophomore catcher, singled, hit by a pitch, last time walked.
We'll see how aggressive Fallston wants to be with a new pitcher.
Cam Alford, number 1, the pitcher. Foul ball, back to the backstop. May Ambrose, 388 last year as a freshman. Think about that, you know, as juniors and, as sophomores and freshmen, this Fallston team last year, 13-6. If I were a betting man, and I certainly am not, I would say that Fallston is going to be a team to be reckoned with this year in their division.
Well, this year and next year.
Yeah.
As long as everyone stays healthy.
Fallston in the Tidings division. Right down Broadway.
Yeah, she'd probably like to have that pitch back.
There's the change. Nice block by Beavers, but the runner will advance. By the way, the Tidings division, they have now 3 divisions in the Yuckback. Tidings has Aberdeen, Joppatown, Patterson Mill, Bel Air, and Fallston. The Hatem division has C. Milton Wright, North Hartford, Edgewood, Havre de Grace, and Hartford Tech. And then the Susquehanna division, the 5 Cecil County teams. Yeah, taken for the strike.
Now, Don, is that the case for all high school sports, or does it vary by sport?
It varies by sports, but there will be yes and no. The teams will be different, but they've arranged them so it's more for travel purposes, if you think about it.
Okay.
Schools in each region. Evie Joy now the batter. He has walked and walked twice, actually. Grounded into that 5-2-3 double play back in the second inning. And what happens is the winner of each of those divisions 3, along with the top wild card, we'll watch this pitch down low, will play in a semifinal/final playoff at the end of the year. So that you got 4 teams and there'll be a semifinal and then a final. And so the champion will be the team that emerges from that 4-team tournament at the end of the year.
So you got that tournament, and then you move on
Yeah,
through the state, you know, the regionals, and then
as the state and regions, as the regions and the states stay the same, you'll be seeded based on your record. You have to be impressed with Alfred. This young freshman comes in here and throws strikes. If Hoskins had any problem today at all, it was, again, with her ability to hit the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Evie Joy, ground ball to second base, fielded cleanly. Throw to first base for the out. Runner goes down to third base. Gracie Newby with that play, throwing to Brooke Lusby. Two out now. Peyton Griner, the batter. Griner has 2 hits and has struck out. Right at the plate, foul ball. "12-4 is the score. We are in the top of the 6th inning. Up high.
that one had a little heat on it.
I was going to say, Barb, you're an expert on pitching much more than I, but I'm impressed Alfred as a freshman throwing the ball as hard as she is. Fly ball, left center field, moving on it, and making the catch out there in left field is Alicia Jones. So the inning comes to an end, and we will play on because, again, we were saying that if Fallston had scored 2 runs, the game would have been over.
Yeah, it was a great job coming in relief. It was.
We're having a change for Fallston. Pitching now in place of Allie Underwood is going to be Horniak, I'm sorry. Missed her name right there. Caitlin Horniak, who was the DP, is going to come in to pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So that Allie Underwood's day seems to be finished as a pitcher. She will have given up those 4 runs in 5 innings of work.
Yeah, and again, good job on C. Milton Wright. Pitcher coming in, gave it, 1 hit, a strikeout, an error, and a fly. Just left field.
And keeping the score right where it was, and again, making the game go at least 1 more inning. And because you never know, you give a team a chance, and it's a tall order, obviously, to come back, but C. Milton Wright has shown a lot of moxie to be able to do so.
And I like Fallston's strategy, switching pitchers now. You know, you get used to one pitcher, and now they put in another one.
Hey, look who it is. It's Kendra Miller. This is a young lady who hit the ball off that foul pole in left field back in the fourth inning for the home run. Kendra is the young lady that had strikes. She had a 1-2 count. She fouled off, what, 5, maybe 6?
Yeah, probably more than that.
Got one she liked and put it right off that left field foul pole. Up high. Well, pitchers sometimes have a kind of a weird motion that upsets the batter. Watch how Horniak addresses the pitch.
Yeah, her arm comes a little out to the side
Yeah.
before it swings around. And that's the thing, you get used to the original pitcher, and now, you know, it screws up your timing a little bit.
Yeah.
When you have a new pitcher whose windup is a little bit different and the timing to the plate's a little bit different.
Well, Miller last time up, who was ultra aggressive, this time has been very, very patient. She watched that pitch come right down the middle. Fly ball center field. And off the center fielder's glove, Path goes back and allows the ball to go off her glove in center field. Again, maybe wind, maybe sun. Maybe that ball went a little further than she thought it was going to.
Yeah, and it was hit hard. You know, those line drives that go right to you, they're the most difficult ones to judge.
Yep, because you don't have a perspective at all. So now Cam Alford, the original right fielder, who's now the pitcher, fanned twice looking to put the ball in play. But foul.
You know, and if you're the relief pitcher for Fallston now, your job really is to throw strikes and see Milton Wright hit the ball and execute.
Caitlin Horniak, sophomore. Her first year on the varsity. 0-2 now. Probably you think about a pitcher, just the build that Alfred has, tall and slender. This young lady, as a freshman, speaking about C. Milton Wright, I think you have to have a lot of hope that she's going to be your #1 pitcher here in the near future.
Yeah, I think that would be the game plan.
Issy Youngworth, well, again, was a pitcher last year, but will not be pitching a lot this year since she's going to concentrate on D1, becoming, a third baseman in the D1 college area. So it could mean that Cam Alford, the young lady we're watching now batting. Ground ball. Frist is able to make the play, throw to first base, stretch, and the out at first base. Boy, nice job by Abby Marmon. Good job by Frist to get to the ball. Throw was a bit low, and Marmon just reached out and made the catch.
She did, and before she threw it, she checked the runner at second briefly.
Very smart play. Now Noelle Beavers, the catcher, who has grounded out to third base both times up. Miller stays at second base. Fly ball foul. Out of play. Said it several times, but just so good to see Beavers back healthy after that operation on her hip area as a sophomore. Good pitch on the outside corner. Barb, for a senior, it's a young team. C. Milton Wright is, as is Fallston. But when you're a senior, this is kind of it for you.
This is it, yeah, unless you plan to play, go on to play in college.
Oh, great changeup. Throw to first base for the out. That's a good job by the catcher May Ambrose, who realized the ball was in the dirt. First base was open. A good job running on the ball was Beavers, knowing that the catcher had not caught it cleanly. So call that out on the strikeout, and then the put out from 2 to 3.
And the runner at second advances to third.
Mm-hmm. They'll bring up Maddie Hoskins. Hoskins, who started at the pitcher, now is at third base. Runner at third, and C. Milton Wright would, of course, love to score that run. swung on and missed. I say that because if they don't and Fallston scores a couple in the top of the 7th, then they wouldn't get to bat in the bottom of the 7th. That mercy rule is kind of a, you know, it's a friend
Cruel.
in some ways,
Yeah,
but
it's a little cruel sometimes.
It is, yeah. It adds a sort of an inside part to a game. Not only you're talking about winning and losing, but you're talking about keeping the game alive, keeping it going. You absolutely don't want to be the team that gets mercy ruled, if you will. Squiver back, foul. 2 outs, runner on at third base. Miller got on an error, advanced on a strikeout throw to first base, and there's where she is at third base with 2 outs. Hoskins 0 for 2, grounded out, popped out. Good job by Ambrose to get down there and block it.
She did. I think that one actually hit her mask, which is, you know, that's what you want to do. That's why you have the equipment on.
Sophomore, 2nd year as a starter, started as a freshman. Ground ball, foul, just wide of third base. Jim French gives it a look. Two down, runner on at third base. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just outside. We've mentioned a couple times this field was a quagmire, sort of, after that big rain last night. They've worked all day long, getting around, especially around second base, they said was really a mess. Swung on and missed. And down go the Mustangs. That leaves our score at 12-4 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. We have now played 6 full innings with the 12-4 score. But again, the effort that the staff here at Milton Wright and all the people that help out to get this field in playing condition.
Yeah, and you sent that email out early, you know, let us know. They said, nope, it needs some work, but we'll get it done.
Yep, we'll get her done. So Barb, to assess these 2 teams, Fallston, a very young team, not a senior on the team, mostly juniors, a couple of sophomores and a freshman. You know, what do you think about their chances of going a long way here this season?
Oh, I think they're excellent. You know, we haven't seen any other teams play yet. This is the first game of the season, but they've got to be at the top.
I like their defense. I like their awareness. You know, just everything about the team, the coaching, just their knowledge of the game and their feel for the game.
Yeah, I noticed that last inning when they were on defense and there was a runner at second, and I think the batter, I don't think she turned around the square for bunt, but the ball was in the dirt. Every single person on the Fallston's defense was moving in the right direction. There's someone covering third, there's someone backing up second. They knew exactly where to be.
Here's Sarah Frist again. She's the leadoff hitter. We played, this is the 7th inning. This is her 5th time up. She's walked, popped up twice, and got that sort of base hit where she bunted the ball and got safe at first base when the ball was dropped. Or actually, I guess the fielder didn't touch the base. So Sarah, who batted .475 last year, would like to get on the books with a clean hit.
That pitch, you probably didn't notice it, but came from underneath.
Like
You
her
call
hand-
that, but yeah, the hand was from the, you know, from,
Yeah, instead of the ball coming from the inside of the hand.
right.
Oh, nice pitch. I tell you what, this young lady, Alfred, I'm impressed. She moves the ball around, throws it hard. One more time, just a freshman. Cam Alford started in right field, came in last inning to pitch. Ground ball up the middle, moving Miller, throw to first base, out at first base. Good play by Miller, Kendra Miller, throwing out her counterpart at first base.
Yeah, that was, pitcher thought about fielding it, although I don't think she could have gotten to it, but at least she didn't deflect it, because the shortstop was right on it.
And Sarah Frist has the kind of speed as a shortstop. You can't mess around. You just got to pick and throw.
Yeah, it was heads-up play on the defense.
Mary Paff now. Mary with 2 hits. Two hits and a strikeout last time up. Scored 2 runs on the day. Well, that would be a pitch that...
I think that was that same pitch, and I think it's meant to be a changeup. I think that's one way to throw the changeup. But she just lost control of that one.
I think what Barbara's saying is normally a pitcher will release the ball kind of with the hand behind the ball. When she throws that changeup, the hand is almost in front of the ball. You sort of like squib it out of your hand. Hard to explain.
It's hard to explain. It's easier to show, yeah.
Yeah, so watch Barb. She's going to demonstrate how to throw the changeup. Foul ball.
Of course, that's not how I threw my changeup. I just, a regular pitch would be grab a couple seams with the fingers, but when I was throwing changeup, I grabbed the whole ball, no seams, and kind of put it in the palm of my hand.
Kind of like the palm ball that in baseball they throw.
And then you keep the same motion.
Mm-hmm. So instead of having fingers that put spin on the ball, it just sort of comes out without spin.
It just comes out of the palm of your hand.
Well, nice strikeout there by pitcher Alford. So 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up Allie Underwood. Allie got on an error last time to the right fielder. Looking for her first base hit of the night. Outside. So 1 more out, and we are assured of going a full 7 innings at least, unless C. Milton Wright can pull a miracle of sorts and tie the game. 12-4, the current score. Change up, pop up into the infield. Moving on at second baseman, Gracie Newby, who makes the catch, and that will indeed end the top of the 7th inning. And so we will play the bottom of the 7th inning with the Mustangs needing 8 runs to tie and 9 runs to win.
Yeah, so far both relief pitchers have come in and got the job done.
And Barb, interesting, we were talking about how C. Milton Wright was in danger of being mercy ruled when they had the bottom of their order coming up in the 5th inning. It was that bottom of the order that scored 2 runs that kept this game alive, and guess what?
It's the bottom of the order
again. That would be Gianna Iori, Alicia Jones, and Gracie Newby coming up for C. Milton Wright. Coming up against relief pitcher for Fallston, and that is Hornyak. Caitlin Hornyak, who is just a sophomore.
I think I might have some changes.
Here it comes.
21 re-enters for number 4. For number 4.
Thank you. So Fallston now is going to have a re-entry. Maggie Watts is coming back into play in left field. She is the flex position in terms of baseball parlance. That would be where she does not bat like the pitcher. So the DP, they call it in softball, the designated player rather than DH. So here we go now, bottom of the 7th inning. Gianna Iori, sophomore. Caitlin Hornyak came in last inning to pitch. Swung on and missed.
Moving the ball around nicely. That was a little outside, but tempting enough to swing at it.
Gianni 0 for 2 today, flew out to left and grounded out to the second baseman. Ground ball, shortstop, Frist moving, cleanly fields it, throws to first base for the out. I'm a bit partial to shortstops, having that's the position I tried to play. Just so impressed with the way Frist doesn't lay back on the ball. She gets a jump, takes a couple of steps in. That shortens the hop, gets you to the ball quicker, makes the throw easier.
Yeah, and that's what she's supposed to do. If you lay back, you let the ball play you. And if you move forward, you're playing the ball.
Yep. And again, first baseman Abby Marmon, very impressive. She receives the ball so well, moving out, again, as you said, Barb, not letting the ball get to you. Strike is called. Alicia Jones has 2 for 2 now, batting in the number 8 position, singled twice, both to left field. Scored 2 runs, too. Just outside. Jones trying to keep her day perfect. Last year as a freshman, did play a lot for Milton, Wright. Falling into right field, and that will be 3 for 3 for Alicia Jones. Keeping the ball in play. Wow. So your number 8 hitter goes 3 for 3.
Mm-hmm. She might be moving up in the lineup, but you know, sometimes you want to put those hitters in the bottom of the lineup because you again, you got the top of your order coming up. They can manage to find a way to get on base.
Gracie Newby. Gracie has a sack and also a base hit. Outside corner.
It's a great pitch.
It was.
Right on the corner.
Caitlin Horniak, been impressive here as a sophomore reliever for Fallston. There's the change. Ooh, that ought to be against the rules to throw a fastball on the outside corner and then come back with a changeup. Not fair to a batter. 2 out now, down to the last out. That is in Juliana McGilton. Juliana has a double. Also got a RBI on a ground out. She's 1 for 3. Down to second base goes Jones.
Yeah, that ball was in the dirt. Runner at first wisely went to second.
And Jones got a nice jump too. You've got to be aware. You know, you see that ball in the dirt, if you then say, okay, now I go, you're dead.
Yeah, any time the catcher bobbles a ball, if you are ready to run, you're going to be safe.
Ground ball, first baseman backhanded,
Tough
nobody
play.
there. Base hit. Well, that's a tough play. That second baseman has to break over there and cover. Pitcher can't get there that quick.
No. And I'm not even sure the second baseman could have gotten over there that quickly.
Almost you, as a first baseman, you have to stay home and hope that the second baseman can get to it.
That would be the only thing they could have done in that situation.
So 2 on now, 2 out. Brooke Lusby up the bat. Brooke 0 for 2, looking to try to keep this game alive. Fallston Cougars looking to go 1-0, and Milton Wright would drop the first game of the year. Ground ball to third base, fielded by the third baseman, third to first base, and that is the final out. Evie Joy with the great pickup and the throw to first base for the out, so score that 5-3. No runs, 2 base hits, no errors, and 2 runners are left on base. We have a final score of 12-4, the win for the Fallston Cougars here going out to a 1-0 record while C. Milton Wright drops to 0-1. Barb, as we sign off here, this game for me shows the world that Fallston is a team to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. I'm anxious to see how they do for the rest of the season.
Meanwhile, C. Milton Wright showed a lot today. Yeah, they're young and they're missing their star, Youngworth. So when she gets back, this team is going to be a team also that's going to win some games this year.
Yeah, hopefully her illness isn't too serious and she can get back in for next week's games. I don't know when they play, but hopefully she'll be in the lineup.
I hope you've enjoyed it, our telecast here from Harford TV, our first game of the year. Stay tuned all year long as Harford TV brings you exciting sports events here in Harford County. Our final score from C. Milton Wright, it is the Fallston Cougars winning their 4th game in a row over C. Milton Wright, winning today by a final score of 12-4. I'm Don Morrison, my partner Barb Solberg. Barb, it's been a pleasure.
Agreed, it's been fun. A little chilly. Hopefully the next games are a little warmer.
Well, be well, everyone out there, and stay tuned as Harford TV continues bringing you these great sporting events in Harford County. Good night, everyone.